Good morning, students. Once again, I welcome you in the class of 11th. Today, we are going to start a new chapter that is Physical Education and Sports for Children with Special Needs Divyang. So, students, as this chapter is about physical education for disabled children, death is related to disability and disorder. So, I am going to explain disability and disorder. So, disability and disorder are the two terms related to each other. Basically, disability is the inability of a person to perform an action or movement. It is due to the factors which affect the formation of body either physically or mentally, whereas disorder is the limitation of the body on performing an action or movement. Disorder limits the full capacity of body to do a action. The only difference between disability and disorder is disability is the damage to the body which does not permits the body to do an action, whereas disorder is a disease that does not make the body able of doing things. There are three types of disability: cognitive disability, intellectual disability, physical disability. There are 5 types of disorder: attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, sensory processing disorder, autism spectrum disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder. You will know it in later class. So in this chapter we will discussing about many topics such as meaning and concept of adaptable physical education, aims and objectives of adaptable physical education, organization, promoting adaptive sports, Special Olympics Bharat, Paralympic, Deaflympics. Oath of Special Olympic Bharat, function of International Paralympics Committee, motto of Deaflympics, concept of inclusion, its need and implementation, implementation of inclusive education in India, role of various professionals for children with special needs. So, I am going to introduce you with the chapter. Students with disability or special needs like to the students or children who are suffering from mental illness. Definition: speech disorder, blindness, mental disorder, body disformation, also have the right to get developed in the democratic society. We also see that they get limited amount of opportunity for developing. So, it is the duty of the school to give them opportunity to develop themselves. Since they are disabled, they do not involve in physical activities. Therefore, for this special type of physical activity should be organized. The education of physical activities and sports for disabled students is known as physical education for children with special needs. So students, now our introduction part of this chapter is completed. See the animation which is being displayed on the screen. It will help you in understanding disability well. Now we will learn about meaning of adopted physical education. So, what is adopted physical education? It can be defined as follows. These are activities, sports, rhythm for especially abled children that are not able to take part in common activities and sports for development, which are done by healthy students. Teaching and training the especially abled students for this type of activities is known as adapted physical education. It is very important for the students who are disabled so that they should overcome their disability and develop themselves emotionally, physically, and mentally. So, students, I hope that you have understood the meaning of adaptive physical education. Now, I am going to tell you about aims and objectives of adaptive physical education. Main aim of physical education is to develop the disabled child physically, mentally, socially, and emotionally by various types of enjoyable activities. Now, I am going to tell you about objectives of adaptive physical education. Main points for objectives of adaptive physical education are: first, to ensure the provision to meet the special needs. Next, to develop motor skills. Next, to enhance self-esteem and self-image. Next, to ensure the participation of students in physical education programs. To improve physical fitness. To motivate students to protect themselves. Next, to promote sportsmanship quality. Next, to develop the knowledge of good body mechanics. Next and last, to improve social adjustment. So students, now I am going to explain you all the objective in detail. So starting with the first one, that is to ensure the provision to meet the special needs. The first and main objective of adapted physical education is to provide physical education in respect with the disability of the children so that they don't feel any difficulty in performing them. Second objective is to develop motor skills. Second objective of adaptive physical education is to develop the basic skills required for the movement of the body and in which the students are disabled. Third objective is self-esteem and self-image. Third objective of adapted physical education is to develop self-image and confidence of disabled children in society so that they don't get depressed or sad because of the disability of the body. Fourth objective is to ensure the participation of students in physical education programs. To ensure or check that every student who is disabled by any means should take part in physical education programs so that he can develop himself. Fifth objectives is to improve physical fitness. With this objective, we have to improve the physical fitness of the disabled students so that they don't face any difficulty in the society. In this, many physical programs are organized which also help in developing physical fitness. Next objective is to motivate students to protect themselves. Next objective of adopted physical education is to teach the disabled students to protect themselves from the various harming objects in the society. Sometimes it can be also some physical activities that may harm disabled children. So students, next objectives is to promote sportsmanship qualities. Inculcating these objectives in students' mind help them in developing the sportsmanship qualities. Like they don't get upset on losing the match or don't get very excitement on winning the match. They just play their game. This is very important objective for physical education. Next objective is to tell the knowledge of good body mechanics. In this, the differently abled students are taught about how normal body or good body works, what are the mechanics of the body, and it also tells how to and what to do to achieve that type of body. Next objective is to improve social adjustment. According to me, it is the most important objective for the differently abled students as they have to face the society due to their disability, so their social adjustments should be properly developed so that they can survive easily in the society. Now, with these aims and objectives of adaptive physical education is completed. Okay, students. Now I am going to start the next topic, organization for promoting adaptive sports like Special Olympics, Bharat, Paralympics and Deaflympics. Special Olympics Bharat is a type of Olympic International which was started by Eunice Kennedy, sister of American President Kennedy in USA. She believed that if all were provided with same number of opportunity, then disabled would have achieved more than expected. It was established in India in 1978 as Special Olympics India, but in 2001 it was renamed as Special Olympics Bharat. Till now, Special Olympics Bharat has joined 8,50,875 athletes from all over India. Now, I am going to tell you about mission of Olympics Bharat. Aim of this mission is to provide physical games or competition to the physically and mentally abled children. It aims to develop emotions, physical structure, and courage to take part in game. Next topic which I am going to tell you about is Vision of Special Olympics Bharat. It is the movement to develop the emotions, life and individual disabled also through physical games. Next is Oath of Special Olympic Bharat. The oath is as follows. Let me win. If I cannot, then let me practice to become stronger. This oath is taken by disabled students so that they get more stronger. Goal of Special Olympic Bharat. Goal of this Olympic is to develop them and make them useful and productive. Achievements of Special Olympic Bharat. From year 1987 to 2015, between 8 World Summer Games and 5 World Winter Games, total 858 athletes participated. They have also won 359 gold medals, 353 silver, 423 bronze medal. Benefit of Special Olympic Bharat. This improved physical status, motor skills, self-confidence, positivity, self-impression, friendship and support of family. Our next organization is Paralympic Games. These games are also developed for disabled individuals. These are made especially for persons affected with mobility, blindness, cerebral palsy, etc. These games are controlled by International Paralympic Committee. These were firstly played in Rome in 1960. These are organized after every 4 years. Now we will discuss about opening ceremony. Games are started by singing national anthem and hosting the flag of hosting country. All the countries come line-wise according to the hosting country alphabets. But hosting country athletes come at last. After that, hosting country show their rich culture through song and dance. At last, Paralympic lamp is brought, which is passed from one to another till it is torched. Now we will explain you the procedure of closing ceremony. After completion of all the games, closing ceremony start. Flags of all the countries enter the ground in one time. After this, players from all the countries enter without any discrimination. Paralympic Games are officially closed after lighting of the torch. How we will learn about International Paralympic Committee. This committee is responsible for all the Paralympic Games going on in the world. It also acts as an international federation for 9 games. Its headquarters are in Bonn, Germany. It was established on 22 September 1980. Next, we are going to talk about categories of disability. Basically, the International Paralympic Committee, it means IPC, has established 10 categories for disability, including physical, visual, and intellectual impairment. Athletes having such 10 disability can participate in Paralympic Games, but all athletes cannot participate in all type of games as they are described on different types of disability. Like physical disability includes impaired muscle power, impaired passive range of movement, loss of limb, leg length difference, etc. Visual impairment includes impairment of one or more component of visual system. Intellectual disability includes the significance of intellectual functioning. Mainly, Paralympic Committee stresses on physical and visual impairment. Our next topic is Deaflympics. Earlier Deaflympics were known as Badhir Olympics. Deaflympics means जिन लोगों को कान से सुनाई नहीं पड़ता उन्हें डेफलिम्पिक्स या बधिर ओलंपिक्स कहा जाता है. It is organized by International Olympic Committee. These are not started by starter gun whistle as athletes cannot listen it. These games are the world's most and fastest growing events. These are organized after every 4 years. These were played for the first time in 1924 in Paris. Winter Deaflympics started in 1949. In starting, only 148 athletes from European countries took part. From 1966 to 1999, they were known as World Games for Deaf. In 2001, they came to be known as Deaflympics. Till now, it has been organized by 36 cities of 21 countries. Only athletes who have last date 55 decibel hearing are allowed to participate. They are also not permitted to use hearing aid. Students, kindly read the table which are shown in the video properly. With this, your topic Deaflympics is completed. Our next topic is concept of inclusion, its need and implementation. Thank you, students. Have a good day.